Hello everyone, Alex back with close to the end of Nioh. And I say close to because there's supposed to be another mission after this. And yes, this is part 2 of The Last Samurai, having done part 1 last night. And as of last night, I have defeated Toyotomi Hideyori, who in this game's universe was not truly the son of Hideyoshi and Yodogimi, but a homunculus birthed from spirit stones, hence explaining all the alchemic sorcery equipment in one of the rooms just last night. So we defeated him, and now we have Yodogimi and Maria to take care of, although I sincerely hope we don't fight Maria, because I could not stand fighting her last time. And we now have an ally with us. Yep, Sanada is teaming up with us, which is something I honestly did not expect. So we'll see how we fare. And I got Janomechu, the Mothra girl. I don't know much about her, so I'm kind of calling her that by means of reference, although I wouldn't be surprised if that spirit or something similar to it was influenced for the actual Mothra character from the Godzilla movies. So yeah. Anyway, got Yodogimi and so on and so forth, and then whatever comes next, which hopefully won't be much. Nice sword. Okay, so what's behind this last? Oh no, freaking birthing crystals. Shit. They expect me to destroy those things, along with the monsters, which is gonna be complicated. I avoided destroying those things last time, and now they expect me to destroy them, to actually destroy them to get past. Okay. Okay, gay mission, you were doing well before, but now you're really pushing it. Oh, we got one. Oh, ow. Oh, no. For once, I actually would prefer fighting the a boss rather than this menial bullcrap. Well, at least it's safe. And I missed whatever was there because I didn't get it. Apparently we overloaded it somehow. Control was very powerful. Wait, are those the 10 Braves? It is the 10 Braves. She brought them back to life. brought back from regret. Ugh. That was the 10 Braves. The wench brought him back. Item box is full. God damn it. Another governor of Tosa. Sheesh. $207. $204. I think I'll go with 207. Oh, I don't have any room for anything. Sucks. Medicine case. Down so I can sort more effectively. and it's all gonna disappear, nothing I can do about it. And I really wish I had picked up all those crystal bags that had shown up on when the first pod was destroyed. Okay, it seems the means for destroying those crystal pods is not to actually hit them, but to overload them with so much Amrita they can't contain it. At least that's what I'm assuming, because some of them because they both spontaneously exploded after killing a certain amount of enemies. Too late to go back now, and honestly, I don't want to. They need to put the storehouse item box with the shrines. Seriously. Team Ninja, Nioh 2, have the shrines, have both the access to the blacksmith and the storehouse. It makes sorting so much easier if it were that way. Should have gotten the crystals there, but I was so busy trying to stay alive I forgot about them. Oh, another shrine. Didn't even have to go down. Okay. Enhanced Guardian, Healer. Oh, that's a lot of tentacles. And both wenches must be in here somewhere. Top floor, most likely. Alright, you ready? Let's do this. Let's finish this once and for all. Please, God, don't be terrible.
Chacha-sama, なぜ人の道を外れられた？
人の道などじきにわらわの夢が叶うのじゃぞ。
あなた様の夢は断じてかようなものではなかった。よし、何者だ？
滅びる。
Nine-tails. The nine-tailed fox spirit. Yeah. She's lost it.
Este castillo ya es historia.
And of course she flees. Alrighty then. No. Let me bring up the comment. Ugh. Not how I expected. Oh, here comes the theme. Come on, YouTube, let me do the thing. Yeah, I'd rather have a full view, honestly. Hello. Yep, a very big, very angry Yogi, and I'm dead. Ugh. Fine time for comments to start showing up. Come on, game. Load. Okay, let's try that. Let's try that again. Better this time. Okay, so we gotta fight Yodogimi. Maria fled like a coward, and the former has turned into the nine-tailed fox. We've gone from Okami to Naruto all of a sudden. Then again, Okami also had a nine-tailed fox, so what am I saying? What? The fuck was that? I didn't even have a chance. This is gonna be annoying, isn't it? So, it's gonna be one of those bosses. I'm not getting an opportunity to do anything. I want to debuff her and buff myself, but she's not allowing me to do it. I hate those kinds of bosses, the kind that as soon as you start, they immediately pounce on you. Like they don't even give you a second to breathe and plan what you're doing. stupid. Seems all the nightmares were all the people who complained were right. She is bullshit. And it hasn't even started yet. And Sonata's just standing there, not even doing anything. I can't do anything. Like, she launches attacks, she moves too fast. What am I supposed to do? This is bullshit. Bullshit. Hear what comes. Shut up, you idiot. Oh, no, no, no. Got her. Wind spears, how fitting. nine-tailed fox is mine.
父を信長に討たれ、母を秀吉に討たれ、私は母を討った秀吉に嫁いだ。戦なき世の夢を託した我が子を失い、邪法に頼って秀頼を作った。秀吉が死んだ後、家臣は去っていった。ただ一人、私をいさめた信繁を。戦乱の炎は何もかも奪っていった。この子と共に戦乱を終わらせる。すべてが私が見てきた炎に包まれるのだ。
That is sad. That really is.
わらわは何をしておったのじゃ。
悪い夢を見ておられた。これよりは茶々様の誠の夢、戦なき世となりましょう。
Hideyori's helmet. Or is it Hideyoshi's? Aw. So he's going down with her. Anger, depression, sadness, and all that bad influence, including the use of the Amrita, just possessed her and turned her into a monster. Not helped by Maria, who, of course, fled like a coward. Possessed by the Nine Tails via Spirit Division. Yes! Who needs Naruto? She found a better host. Okay, I kid. Naruto became Hokage, so he ended up being worthy, so... Oh my god. That closer, it's still dangerous, but I found a little better that way. Oh yeah, she ended up being far easier to go up against rather than at range because of those fireballs. But I find it fitting that I used my divine spear right here instead of the sword, because honestly, I've got to be honest, the spear is like the middle ground weapon. It's so good for tackling everything, both long range and close range. Great, thumbs up from Ali. Finally did it. Yup, indeed. Kudos. Thank you, Judy. Much appreciated from the both of you. Ugh. Well, that was a long, long time coming. Fox Spirit Tail. don't know if I have this already, but I'll check eventually. So Sonata went down with the castle along with her. And we fought the homunculus Hideyori previously. So apparently the way to defeat the crystals was apparently to overload them with so much Amrita that they exploded. Because that seemed to be what happened. Instead of just going after them, I just focused on, along with Sonata, just attacking whatever enemies were there, and the crystals just blew up. I don't know if it's specific to that area, or if that was the case with the ones before there, but it is what it is, I suppose. A lot of loot to the right, you said? Well, I already got the loot that's right there, and couldn't get it, and I can't fit all of it, and some of it I don't even want, so I don't know. Either way, Osaka, the war's over. Until the Meiji period, in the 20th century, when war happens again.
わしの役目は終わった。表舞台より姿を消し、影よりこの国を見守ろう。お主はどうする？
More will come to this country in search of Amrita. Perhaps even another Spanish ninja.
Ugh.
されば。
Aw, Kiki.
間もなく日が暮れる。参ろう。
慶長20年、元那演武。江戸幕府は元王を元那と改め、天下の平定を宣告。ここに戦乱の世は終わりを告げた。
Yeah, for about 200 years until the Meiji era restoration, Bloodshed's End. Turmoil's End trophy. Okay, hopefully I'll be able to. Let's see what if that Master Ninja quest comes up, as well as anything else, and I hope it's just that. I honestly... Oh, a whole bunch of stuff came up. Hey, it's that spear that I saw the one Revenant use. With outsiders continuing to cause problems and the possibility of this country retreating to isolation rising, I headed for Hirado Island in Nagasaki so that Hanzo and I could continue to protect the country from the shadows. So is there no other areas? Nope, just that one. And a bunch of side missions. The Master Ninja. A fair for the afterlife. Oh no, please tell me it's not what it is. Nope, it's not. It doesn't look like a double boss fight. Everlasting Duty. I don't know what this one is. The Grand Tournament. So, a bunch of side missions came up. This one I want to do. This one looks like just a regular Search and Destroy mission. This one looks like a boss rush level. This one too. So I don't know what to expect. So I'll try them, and depending on which ones I do, if some of them I do good in, I'll have accomplished. Others I don't know about to do, I'll probably leave alone and come back another time. And by another time, I mean probably casually, because at this point, I'm just done with the game. Okay. dangerous beauty. The large yokai referred to as the nine-tailed fox appears throughout history and is known for transforming into a beautiful woman in order to manipulate people and bring ruin to the land. Its legend lives on as an evil creature intent on destroying that which others have worked so hard to build. The nine-tailed fox is a fox-based yokai that has lived for over 1,000 years and possesses strong magical powers. Foxes that mysteriously obtain magical powers become yokai, and the longer the foxes live, the stronger its powers become, with the number of tails it possesses increasing accordingly as well. Fox spirits with one tail have only weak magical powers and are as intelligent as the average human, but those that live 1,000 years eventually grow 9 tails and are believed to have a level of intelligence that far exceeds that of even the most intelligent of humans. And there was even a Pokemon that was, for all intents and purposes, given the exact same name and appearance. And there was even an episode in the anime where it became a ghost due to its trainer having died and haunted. It had for all intents and purposes, haunted the house it lived in. That was a freaky episode. Hey, this Ninetales is certainly freaky looking. Giant arms and everything. Even the Ninetales in Naruto would look at that thing and be like, yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that. Onryuki, Magatsu Warrior. Magatsu Warriors attack with all 4 of their arms, each swinging a blade. Their massive bodies lend immense power to each of their blows, and failing to defend oneself from just one of the attacks is enough to slice clean through the average person. Countering their attacks while dodging the whirlwind of slashes is no easy feat, although their phantom arms are unstable and easy to shatter, making them ideal targets and possibly making these yokai easier to manage over the course of the battle. Check if there's anything else, although I doubt so. Guardian Spirit. As its name suggests, the Ninetales is a guardian spirit is a fox guardian spirit with 9 tails, each containing enormous power, able to control fire as well as psychologically manipulate people. Ninetales once took the form of a strikingly beautiful woman and manipulated a monarch into terrorizing his people. As such, the guardian spirit struck fear into people who believed it brought chaos to the land. Conversely, there are those who worship Ninetales, seeing it as a sign that peace will soon come to the world. Whichever side one believes, all agree that if you see one, the world will soon be turned on its head. Despite its seemingly regal look, I'm guessing this thing is supposed to be bad luck. Like black cats, wolves, pfft, please. That thing is more bad luck. Six months after the siege of Osaka Winter's campaign, William set off in pursuit of Maria, finding himself once again joining Ieyasu and his troops, besieging Osaka Castle. Together with Date Masamune, he engaged Sanada Yukimura once more in battle in an attempt to prevent the enemy advance. But such efforts proved to be of no avail, as the chaos brought forth by the Spirit Stones had already taken hold. William hurried to the main keep of the castle with Yukimura, and after a long and perilous fight, defeated Yodogimi, who had taken the form of a giant 9-tailed fox. Upon her defeat, Japan had finally been purged of the forces that sought to use Amrita for their evil machinations, and a world without war envisioned by the Tokugawa clan was finally realized. With Osaka Castle engulfed in flames behind them, William and Hattori Hanzo made their way to Hirado Island in western Hizen province, present-day Nagasaki Prefecture. It is rumored that from that day forth, William continued to protect Japan from those shadows. And he got his dozen to 100 or so, however many acres of land that was promised to be by Tokugawa himself, and lived till he was like in his 50s and died. And had a Japanese wife since he couldn't return in actual history, so who knows. Hanzo. In order to defeat Toyotomi clan, Hanzo once again joined the fray at Osaka and fought alongside William and the Tokugawa troops. After the fall of Sanada Yukimura's forces, and upon learning that the remaining Sanada troops were making their way toward Ieyasu's main camp, Hanzo parted ways with William in order to return to his master. Hanzo's concerns over Ieyasu's safety proved prescient as Yukimura appeared and engaged Hanzo in a ferocious battle after he arrived at the main camp. Hanzo bested his opponents, who ultimately proved to be Sarutobi Sasuke disguised as Yukimura. Bested? He didn't do anything. He just stood there, and then Ieyasu gave the order to shoot while Sasuke stood there. So, yeah. After the fight, Hanzo and William ventured to Hirado Island in western Hizen province, present-day Nagasaki, and it is said that the two of them continue to keep a watchful eye over the now peaceful country and protect it from yokai and ninja from foreign lands, among other threats. That springs to mind, for Nioh 2, will it be set before the events of Nioh or set after? Because the way they're making it sound, you know, with Maria fleeing and, you know, with the next game clearly showing yokai coming back, among other, and possibly other forces coming in, will the next Nioh game be set during the Edo period? You know, in the century, in the 2 centuries, 3 centuries before the Meiji Restoration, because that's what it seems like, where they could set it. You know, did I read the last of all this? Yeah, I did. Because honestly, I think that would be, either way, it's cool, but I think the latter, I think the whole setting after will be more likely. Like, who knows? Maybe you'll work for. Oh, it'd have to depend where it's set, because William dies in the 1650s. So unless you set it like sometime during that middle era, it would be like, I was thinking just now, like maybe you worked for both him and Hanzo, but you'd have to like really pick a specific time period to do something like that. So it's up in the air as to what they can do. So I'm suspecting either take place before the first game, which I think is unlikely, or set it in after the main game, in that quote-unquote peaceful era. During the Edo, but before the Meiji. Half a year later, Date Masamune once again joined the front lines at Osaka Castle, making his way west from Yamato, present-day Nara, together with Katakura Shigenaga. Although the castle had lost its position as a formidable stronghold, the Toyotomi army launched a bold assault but lost Goto, Matabe, and many other officers to the cause. Once Masamune's army reached Konda village in Kawachi province, southeastern Osaka, they encountered Sanada Yukimura's forces and engaged them in battle, which ended in a stalemate. Eventually, the Date forces, which had advanced to southern Osaka, were able to oh, I didn't. Sorry. I'll do it later. I'll do it again later. Sorry, Dad. As I was saying, experience of William Masamune took on the okay, where was I? They encountered Sanada Yukimura's forces, engaged in battle, engaged in stalemate. Okay, eventually, the Date forces, which had advanced to southern Osaka, were able to achieve the surrender of the Sanada's main troops at Mount Chaosu with the assistance of William. Masamune took on the Revenant forces empowered by the Spirit Stones, which were pouring out from Osaka Castle in order to assist William's assault on the castle's main keep. Many believe the undead warriors could only be contained by the Date forces, who had once used the power of the Spirit Stones themselves. After the battle, Masamune devoted his attention to the management of his fiefdom, building up Sendai as the first economic area of Oshu and ensuring the prosperity of future generations. Okay. Maria set her sights on the true ruler of the Toyotomi clan, Yodogimi, and attempted to take advantage of the darkness within her, eventually succeeding in enticing her to release the full power of the Spirit Stones in one fell stroke. Maria intended to use the multitude of slain warriors from both the Toyotomi and Tokugawa forces to obtain a large supply of Amrita, but her plans were ultimately foiled by William. Aware of her imminent failure, Maria escaped while William was occupied fighting the nine-tailed fox. What a wench. Bruja. Yukimura. After having lost his critical strongholds, Yukimura threw caution to the wind and engaged the Tokugawa in a fierce battle. He was able to hold the massive Tokugawa army at bay for some time alongside Goto Matabe and his other officers, but were eventually bested by William, and after finally losing his main camp at Mount Chaosu, he acknowledged his defeat. Immediately thereafter, Yukimura learned of Yodogimi's usage of the Spirit Stones, and believing such dishonorable tactics to be... I'm not slacking! Oh my god. Such dishonorable tactics to be counter to the mission of restoring order to the land, he rushed to the castle tower to try and convince Yodogimi to stop her evil plan. Yukimura joined forces with William, who he no longer viewed as his enemy. After a heated battle against the nine-tailed fox, an exhausted Yukimura approached the critically wounded Yodogimi, who had returned to her original form, and they both welcomed the end of their mortal lives. After his death, Yukimura's exploits as a feudal lord earned him the title of the last great general of the warring states. Hence why his armor is called that. Interesting. Sasuke accompanied Sanada Yukimura and aided in the defense of Osaka Castle. After Yukimura lost to William and headed to Yodogimi's side, Sasuke prepared for one final act of service to his master. He disguised himself as Yukimura and rushed to Tokugawa Ieyasu's main camp, but just before reaching the camp, he was confronted by Hattori Hanzo, and the two engaged in the battle to the death. Sasuke was able to gain the advantage over Hanzo, but he was shot down by Ieyasu's riflemen. That's what I said! They stopped for a pause, and Ieyasu took the initiative. Sasuke's sacrifice helped ensure Yukimura's status as a great warrior, and ensured he would be remembered as Japan's greatest soldier. Yodogimi. Possessed by a malicious yokai and consumed by her hatred for Tokugawa Ieyasu, Yodogimi was so intent on preserving the Toyotomi clan that she turned to the power of the Spirit Stones to achieve that goal. From atop the heights of Osaka Castle's main keep, she watched on as the Toyotomi forces continued to be overwhelmed by Ieyasu's massive army. Okay, somebody did not spell check this completely, because they misspelled Ieyasu's name wrong. When her last hope for victory, Sanada Yukimura, fell to William, the remaining forces of her conscience finally succumbed to the darkness within her. The power of the Spirit Stones was released and engulfed the castle in chaos, and the Toyotomi forces, now revenants, overran the Tokugawa forces. Her body now completely consumed by the nine-tailed fox's spirit. Yodogimi descended the castle tower to confront William, who had now also defeated Hideyori. Although she possessed enough power to lay waste to the world, she was unable to best William in battle and was ultimately defeated. Would you stop clanking dishes, please? Thank you. Together with Yukimura, who had risked his life to climb the tower and put an end to the rampage, Yodogimi vanished in the burst of flames. And that exclamation mark has not been taken off. Hideyori missed his opportunity to participate in the winter campaign and entrusted the defense of the castle to Sanada Yukimura and his men. However, once his mother Yodogimi unleashed the power of the Spirit Stones, Hideyoshi took command of an army of revenants and waited for his mother to give the signal from the main keep so that he could annihilate the Tokugawa forces in his very first battle, which he lost. With an imposing appearance reminiscent of Hideyori himself, Hideyori put up a strong fight against William, but he was eventually beaten. Upon his defeat, Hideyori faded into particles of light and vanished, proving to be nothing more than a homunculus Yodogimi created with the wicked power of the Spirit Stones. A homunculus meant to bring back a dead child. Can't blame her, honestly. In the end, he was used as a weapon. Alrighty then. So that just leaves the last couple of side missions, of which I am going to do in a little while. I want to take a break first before I do any of them, because that last fight was tiresome. I gotta be honest though, I actually surprisingly enjoyed the Siege of Osaka Summer. It was very difficult, but at the same time, in a lot of ways, it was more fair than the other two. My problems with Tohoku and Osaka Winter are mostly in relation to that they had very unfair bosses. I liked their levels themselves very much, but what ultimately failed both of them was how cheap and unfair their bosses were. I did not like fighting Masamune and Shigezane because they both had they're very wild in their attacks and have little room to ultimately exploit any weaknesses. Siege of Osaka started off well, but just became a very, very long snooze of a campaign that with levels that tended to go on a little too long and having areas that just loved to just for all intents and purposes just screw you over. Like the trench level, how you had to go searching for a cannonball in the middle of a battlefield with cannonballs raining down on you, which was stupid. Sasuke was the easiest and yet surprisingly the only fair boss in the whole thing, and then you had Sonata himself, which is probably one of the most unfair in all three expansions, if not the entire game, because he spams his spirits so much, leaving you no room or time to do anything. Siege of Osaka, honestly, I actually surprisingly enjoyed a bit more because their levels were very in-depth, but and were challenging, but at the same time, I did not feel entirely cheated half the time like I did the other ones. I would say Loyalty of Demons is my least favorite in terms of level design because of how labyrinthine it was, but at the same time, and also because I could not... Sonata's Resolve. Yeah, that one I had mixed feelings about because of how labyrinthine it was, overly labyrinthine it was, and that I had to fight the 10 Braves all over again. And that there was one Kodama spirit that I just could not get to. He was like locked off in a little fenced area, and nowhere could I find how to get him. So I just eventually just grew sick of it and just passed by him. And Sonata ended up being far easier this time than he was the first time. So that was weird. Resentment Unleashed was a pretty simple level, in all honesty. It was just a fun thrill ride that ended in a very monstrous boss that I think people will either like or hate. Me, I'm personally in the middle of it, and closer to like, surprisingly, because I hate that he spams poison and flies around like a maniac, but on the other hand, you have many options for how to best it, especially if you're careful and know how to read it correctly. And then there's Last Samurai, which I surprisingly enjoyed. I did not end up throwing my controller around and going into temper tantrums like I ended up breaking up in past levels, because I honestly I think it was a mix of different things. Either me getting better and just choosing how to attack and move more efficiently, and also when to pick my battles. Or maybe I just grew up such a tolerance that I eventually just figured, I was just like, what can the game throw at me at this point? I'll get through it either way. So, not overly labyrinthine. It was pretty straightforward too, but it certainly hit hard with all the various enemies and yoki that it threw. Really the main flaw with the Last Samurai, both parts of it, was that you had those crystal monster birthing chambers, which are super tough, and really I think the only way to destroy them is just to overload them by destroying as many enemies. And then you had the boss fights with Hideyori and Yodogimi. Yodogimi is tough and is one of those bosses that will basically try to screw you up the moment you enter the room, contrary to 99% of total bosses in games where they'll wait for like a couple of seconds for you to get within 10 feet and then they'll start attacking. So she's annoying in that respect. But if you're able to get close and dodge her attacks as well as keep your spirit level up, along with Sonata, she becomes a bit more manageable. So I surprisingly did not have as much trouble as I thought. In Hideyori, you know, he had his double swords and attacks, but he honestly was basically to this DLC what Masamune was, only far more manageable in that you can knock him out of his you can knock his ki down far better. The only other thing I didn't like was that I did not like that they brought back Otani and Ishida. Why they did that, I honestly have no fucking clue. I did not see any story-related reason, so really the only reason I can think of as to why they brought them back as extra bosses was just to pad out the game. There was really no reason to fight them ever again. Why they couldn't have just put in different bosses in general, more relevant to the Siege of Osaka itself, I have no idea. They were really just filler more than anything else. So, as far as campaign main missions are concerned, I actually ended up enjoying it more than I thought I would, than I did the last two, which is weird because everyone considers this entire chapter a nightmare, and yet here I am actually singing praises for it. Who'd have thought? Funk it, right? So, yeah, not much to say. The story's pretty much is over. The only thing left to do are these side missions, which, again, I'm gonna take a break and come back to later. See which ones I can do and which ones I won't be able to do, and if I ever, and for the ones that I won't be able to do, just like ones that I still have ones in Tohoku and Siege of Osaka Winter that I never finished. So if anything, I'll do those on my own time. And depending on what happens here with these side missions, that may be the case. So we got this, we got Grand Tournament, Master Ninja, Fair for the Afterlife, and Everlasting Duty. So that's what I'm gonna do later. And yeah, I'm gonna go take a break and maybe catch up on some other things around the house and be back later. Thank y'all for watching. I'm glad y'all could enjoy it and that I did not suffer as much as I thought I did. So, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and I'll see y'all later for hopefully the very, very official end of the game. So, be back later.